Hey loves, Dana here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this entire natural blowout look on my natural hair, as well as this my go-to glowy makeup look. So if you want to see how I achieved the entire look, hair, makeup and everything, then keep on watching. I was actually so scared of this entire hairstyle because first of all, I've never blended or attempted to even blend my natural hair with like a straight extension look. So I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. So what I intended to do was to keep my natural hair in like flat Swiss plait for 1 week prior to this hairstyle, just so my natural hair stretches out a little bit. But unfortunately, while I was taking down the flat twist, I sprayed some water on my natural hair so it kind of shrunk back to its original state. So we're just gonna have to work with what's going on here right now, okay? First thing I went ahead to do, like you guys saw me do already, was to spritz some water on my natural hair just to soften it a little bit and also hydrate it. And then I went ahead to use the Mielle Organics Leave-In Conditioner. That conditioner smells so good. And it feels so good. It made my natural hair feel so soft. So I rubbed that all over my hair and just, softened everything a little bit. And then I went ahead to pat out the front section where I'm going to be having the U part right there, as you guys saw me do. And then the rest of my natural hair, I did cornrows all the way to the back. I also brought out like these 2 strands of hair on the side just so I could be able to blend it into this U-part wig, just so it would be a lot more flawless and a lot more natural looking. So this is what we have going on right here in front, and the rest of my natural hair, like I mentioned, is cornrowed all the way to the back. So moving on to this wig, the wig I'm using in this video is the U-part Kinky Straight Yaki Texture Virgin. What am I saying? This is a Kinky Straight Human Hair U-part wig from OMGQueen, and this is in 16 inches and 150% density. The unit also comes with a couple combs inside of it, just like I'm able to use that to clip it down to my natural hair for it to stay in place. It also comes an elastic band at the back that you could be able to adjust that just so it fits perfectly onto your head and it stays steady. And then right now I'm just going to go ahead to straighten this wig. Personally, I'm not really a huge fan of using heat on my natural hair, so I did like plaits in front just so I could give my natural hair some time to cook up and kind of like stretch out a little bit, and in that way to be a lot easier for me to blend my natural hair into this U-part wig, and then to give my natural hair that smooth glide and blending into this U-part wig, I use my bristle brush to brush my natural hair. And then moving on to this middle part, so I took out some parts here for the back, took out some parts here for the side, for both sides. Then I went ahead to readjust the U-part wig to overlap that part of my natural hair. I felt like doing it this way would give my natural hair and this entire look that natural finish, and the blending would be a lot more flawless, especially considering the fact that this extension, this U-part wig, is not the exact same color as my natural hair. My natural hair is more like color 1B, meanwhile this extension is more of natural color. So doing it this way, in case where my natural hair, you're going to see through my natural hair, you'll be able to see through this wig and see through my natural hair, if that makes sense. So even if you're seeing through my natural hair, it makes it more flawless in terms of blending. I don't know if that makes sense. I would say it's more like I was trying to mix my natural hair texture in between these extensions, just so, yeah. And then for the rest of this, my natural hair that I have here left out, and I'll just use this to blend over top of this wig. And that was basically all I did for this entire blending process, you guys. I was so nervous of how this was going to turn out, but honestly, I feel like it really turned out way better than I expected. In the future, I'll be sure to stretch my natural hair out like the day before or like few days before. Maybe put my natural hair in plaits and just not put water on it. Moving on to my makeup. So I started off using my Makeup Forever mattifying primer just to prime my face, give my face that canvas, just so my makeup would just stay long and my face stays, locked in place. And I do have oily skin, so I always tend to go for mattifying primer because it helps to control my oil and yeah, all of those stuff. And for my brows, I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics Brow Pencil. And after drawing my brows, I just went ahead to clean that up using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. And after cleaning that up, I also use this concealer as a eyeshadow base to prime my eyelid space, as you guys can see. And then moving on to the eyeshadow, I was going for like a brown brown, bronze, orangey makeup look, my go-to look pretty much. And then I went ahead to use this brown shade from this Juvia Space Warrior palette, and I use this all over my eyelid space. And I just tap this just so I could be able to get more coverage and just blend this into my eyelid space. Then moving on to the crease corner of my eyes, I'm going to be using this dark brown shade here from the exact same palette, and I just used a more precise brush and blended this into the corner of my eyes just like so. And then right now I'm just going to go ahead to cut my crease, and to cut my crease I'll be using the NYX Cosmetics eyeshadow base, and I apply that to my eyelid space just so my eyeshadow that I'm going to put over top of this one is going to pop like pop, pop, you know. So I apply that right there. I'm doing this part A, I always like to make sure that I take my time and just relax, just because I tend to get like, you know, transfers. So I just like to take my time. And then moving on to this shimmery gold bronzy coppery color, I'm just going to go ahead to apply this right over top of this eyeshadow base. I'm just going to move on to the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, and I'll be using this burgundy reddish color. This is called Red Ochre, and I'll use that in between like my crease, where I cut my crease, just to add that reddish tone, and also to kind of like smudge out any harsh line, because I tend to have like harsh lines and then sometimes it transfers. So this just helps to, you know, take care of all of those. And then moving on to my struggle part, eyeliner. I'm just going to go ahead to use the Morphe Black eyeliner, and then after which I went ahead to use the Benefit Bad Girl Bang mascara to, you know, put this on my lashes. And then I'm going to go ahead right now to use the false lashes from Aliexpress. I think this is in their code G800. I think so. I don't really remember. I'll put that down below in the description box. And then moving back to the top part of my brows, I normally use a darker shade of concealer, something more, you know, a lot closer to my skin tone. And this is in the shade Chestnut. This allows my eyebrows to pop, yet still giving it that blended look, just so it blends a lot more with my skin tone. And moving on to the color correcting, I'll be using the NYX Orange color corrector to correct like my hyperpigmentation, my under eye circle, and all of those stuff. I'll just tap this right there under my eyes, and then use my fingers to blend this, as well as the rest of my face that I'll be color correcting. Also, for reference, don't worry, all the products I use in this video, I'm going to be listing them down below in the description box. The hair, the makeup, everything and everything, okay? To foundate my face, I'm going to be using the Cover FX Power Play Foundation in the shade N110. So this is a full coverage, actually it's medium to full coverage. This is a medium to full coverage foundation. I'll just go ahead to blend this into my skin using a damp beauty blender. Now moving on to highlighting my face, I'll be using the exact same Elegant Pro concealer that I use for the bottom part of my brows in the shade Fawn. And I'll just apply this right here under my eye bags, as well as my forehead, my nose, my chin, and basically every part of your face that you would like to highlight, just like so. Don't worry, don't be alarmed. I already highlighted the under part of my left eyes off camera just because my camera battery died. Right now I just go ahead to blend in this concealer into my skin using the same damp beauty blender. And then moving on to setting this concealer, I'll be using the Fenty Beauty setting powder in the shade Honey. I like to make sure that I set my concealer right away just so it doesn't crease. So like under my eyes, my forehead, my nose, my chin, and all of that good stuff. And then moving on to contour, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty contour stick in the shade Espresso, and I apply this right there under my cheekbone. I also apply it to my nose just to contour and, you know, put some shade to those part of your face that you want to add some shade to. And then right now we're just going to move on to bronzer. So I'm going to bronze this face, okay? Using the Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade Mocha Mami, and I just apply this right on top of where I put my contour. This adds a very nice shade warmth to my entire face. In my blush, I'll be using the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Blush as per usual in the shade Cheerio. And then moving back to my eyes, I'm using the NYX Black Eye Pencil liner. Just use this to line my waterline. And then moving back to this Modern Renaissance palette, I'm just going to go back to that reddish burgundy color that we use for like the top part of our eyelid space in the shade Red Ochre. I'll just use that for the bottom part of my eyes just to balance this entire eye look, so the top and the bottom are, you know, getting married to each other. So moving back to my lower lashes, I'm going to use the same mascara, you know, just to put that right there so everything pops like I'll just go ahead to set my entire face using my MAC Fix Plus setting spray. Oh my god, you guys, I was so scared that this setting spray would touch my natural hair, so I was like, okay, please, no, no, no. And then moving on to my highlight, I'm going to go ahead to use my Fenty Beauty highlighter in the shade Hustler Baby, and I just tap this right there on my cheekbones just like so. Applied some on my forehead as well, just to highlight my forehead, my chin, my nose, and my tear duct. And then right now I'm going to move on to lining my lips. For lining my lips, I normally just use my eyebrow pencil, and it does basically the exact same job. So, you know, ahead to apply some of my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, as well as this pinky lip gloss that I have going on here. I just tap that a little bit, just add some of, just a little bit of pink to finish up this entire look. And that is basically it for this video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. I love you guys so very much, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye.
Bad man, I mean, they run town. Then I tell her my lady, my baby, may she calm down. Bad man, I mean, they run town. One time, say she no one waste time. Bad man, me not give her one time, night time. Say she want me feel lifetime. Bad man, me not give her the pipeline. Give me not the vibe. Say she wanna roll, moving on her body. Say she don't wanna go. Bad man.